Hello all, and thank you for visiting Inner Light Guidance. If you would like me to channel for you in the future, please subscribe to the channel and like this video. These are both forms of energy transfer and they help me to pick up on your energy. And of course, I would just love to have you. Okay, let's jump right into this. For those of you who may be dealing with a connection that you're feeling a bit unsure about, and not only that, but if something about this video title pulled you in, then it's very likely there is some kind of message here for you and whatever form of love connection you are dealing with. Only take what is resonating for you in your situation. Try not to make anything fit. You are feeling what I can only describe as emotional pain that felt so intense it almost felt physical. It's like when you feel so emotionally impacted by something, you can feel it in your physical body. This person has felt or is still feeling emotional pain coming out of this brokenheartedness. I hear someone saying, I'm tired of fighting. For some of you, this is fighting within yourself, going back and forth. It's like you're playing an internal game of tug of war with yourself about something. For others, this is feeling hostilities with another person. This could have been a toxic relationship or connection, either romantically or platonically, or at the workplace. There could be some interpersonal relationship here that had some form of hostility, either verbally or emotionally in some sense. I just get this feeling of someone feeling like, I can't fight anymore, or I can't fight you anymore. Someone is thinking about moving on. This alternatively could be someone looking at someone else within a relationship or situation and feeling as though that other person is not moving forward in the physical. I also hear someone saying, I just have to live my life. So this could be someone who has been stuck on someone else, like waiting for them to move forward in action or waiting for this connection to move forward in the physical and feeling this conflict within themselves. This situation is resolving or this person is coming out of this situation. This could simply be someone saying, I've been really in my head about whatever this internal conflict is, and I just have to live my life and move forward in the physical or something like that. Someone may feel as though by living their life in the physical, they may have this fear as though they're leaving their soulmate behind in this physical world. In some sense, this won't connect with everyone, of course. I want to know why someone is feeling this inner conflict or even external conflict around moving forward or things not moving forward with someone. They feel as though to follow their path, they must leave this person behind them. If that message connected with you, you know who I'm talking about when I say, I have to leave you behind, or I feel as though I'm leaving you behind. I feel like there is someone here who is dealing with this in either a very intense platonic connection or most likely a romantic connection. And I'm feeling that this person feels as though they had to betray themselves. There was some kind of self-betrayal here in order to maintain this connection, whatever it was. And it's like I hear this person saying, I loved you more than you could ever know, but I've realized that I love myself more now. This person feels as though they've been betraying themselves or somehow keeping themselves off of their highest path in order to stay with this person or to stay with this connection. I'm just hearing, let it go now. This could be really any form of soul connection, love connection. This could even be a friendship. However, for many of you, I do feel that this is a very, very intense soul connection. And I feel this person, again, feeling this feeling of confusion because it's like this inner conflict of, I want to move forward with my life. You want to be on your path, but you're afraid that if you take this path that you know to be your best path, your highest path, you're afraid that somehow things between you two won't work out, or somehow you'll be leaving you behind for some reason. This is a very painful lesson here. They're learning the lesson of choosing themselves regardless of how the situation plays out, releasing that need to know everything in the future. I almost feel as though it's like this situation is causing you a lot of anxiety. So by fixating on it in the physical, it's keeping you in a state of fight or flight or restlessness. I feel like you're being pushed to go, but you don't want to. And this person feeling as though I don't want to leave you, like they don't want to feel as though they are abandoning this connection or this other person. There's someone here who is looking at the other person in this situation, this relationship, and thinking your pride is somehow getting in the way of us connecting in the physical. Because of that, I had to choose to love myself. And by loving myself, I'm choosing a path that makes me feel as though I am walking away. Like I'm somehow leaving you in the past or abandoning you. But I feel like this is some illusion constructed by the ego here as far as how this person perceives disconnecting or walking away is somehow what the ego, the human ego, wants them to believe. This person feels this feeling as though I'm abandoning you, I'm leaving you by choosing myself. But what's actually going on in this situation, because I feel like this person could be missing something or like there's some kind of message trying to come through for them. I feel like this person went back and forth a lot when it came to making some kind of decision about this. The divine feminine, which, just to clarify, the divine feminine and divine masculine are not restricted to a particular gender. So you could be a woman who identifies as a divine masculine or who is a divine masculine, or you could be a man who is a divine feminine, just to be clear on that. Okay, so I feel like there's regret on both sides here. Like what I feel to be the divine masculine here is regretting whatever they did or whatever happened on some level, even if they aren't verbalizing that to some of you in some connections. And I feel on the other side, for most of you as the divine feminine, also regrets both what you perceive that this person did or how they behaved, but I feel they also feel regret simply just in a general sense. Like I just regret the way that things played out. I just wish things happened differently, but I've come to accept that I can't change the past. I can only move forward into the future. I can only step into the highest version of myself. I feel like this is all reaching a kind of culmination point. I heard 1111 portals. So the person or the group of people I'm connecting with here may have really all come to a head for you around the 1111 portal, which was November 11th, where you felt this push into like, I feel like I've been stuck long enough in this time suspension, in this confusion, in this fog, and I just have to step forward somehow in the physical. I have to release my fears that in stepping forward to the highest version of myself, I'm somehow leaving you behind. I'm getting a sentiment from this person like, I deserve true love. I deserve to be loved, to be cared for, to be supported. And I feel that although this person they're connecting with may very well be very energetically or even soul bonded with, in some sense, this could be a twin flame, this could be a soulmate, a romantic soulmate, whoever this is, I feel as though some behavior this person displayed in the physical caused it to feel to this person consciously as though they were again self-betraying, not being cared for, not getting what they deserved out of this connection, or this person in the physical again, regardless of the soul bond, regardless of the soul connection they shared with this person, there was a feeling of betrayal leading to self-betrayal, a feeling like you did not respect our connection, and therefore to remain bonded with you, I felt as though I was betraying myself on some level. I feel this person just being called to their highest self, being called back home to themselves. I just hear release control. And I feel like this person wasn't even fully aware of the way in which they were trying to control the outcomes here. It's like they were telling themselves that they were trusting the divine, that they were trusting this connection, that they had faith in this future, or how this future was going to unfold with this person. But what they were actually doing in the physical is trying to control. I mean, they were really like shaping their words and actions and behaviors in the physical to make this connection work, to somehow like force it into place or to force this union, whatever the case is. And I feel like this person now is being guided to release that final piece of needing to control. And the way in which I feel this specific person is doing that is actually by feeling as though they're leaving this. It's ironic. It's like they feel like they're leaving this person or this connection behind in some sense. But what's really happening here is They are leaving behind the last remnant of their own need to control what comes from a deep-seated fear of being abandoned. I feel for some who are connecting with this reading in this decision, I feel a lot of pain associated with it, whatever this person has done. Choosing to kind of disconnect themselves or distance themselves a bit in the physical, I feel like it's going to bring a lot of clarity, empowerment, and balance into this person's life. I feel this person is dealing with what they think may or may not be a twin flame connection. I feel this person is just being guided over and over. Remember, twin flames are energetic mirrors. If you are showing up, if you are rising to the best version of yourself, the most fulfilled, the happiest, the most empowered version of you, your twin flame, your true twin flame will meet you there. And this person really needs to have faith in that in a way that they have never had faith in it before. There's something about the number 24 or 42. You could be seeing some of those numbers recently, or someone might be seeing those numbers. I very clearly heard some kind of contract or a cycle is coming to a close. There's some kind of full circle happening here. I even heard for some reason, 7-year cycle. So for someone, you might be looking back at the last 7 years of your life and seeing that something in your life has either come to fruition, come to completion. This could be a relationship. This could be a cycle within yourself. This could be some timeline to do with your spiritual awakening. There's just something about the number 7 coming out here for someone. So again, that won't be for everyone. There could be something about Christmas being significant here. I'm a little bit curious about this. I kind of feel as though something's going to happen around Christmas time for some of you, either with your person or in your life. This could be some manifestation you've been waiting for. This could be some kind of communication. I'm seeing someone like texting or communicating. So you could have someone in your life use the holiday as an excuse to reach out or to somehow like re-enter your life again. That was a complete side message for someone. Hopefully that resonates, but you probably won't know for sure until the future. So you'll have to come back and let me know if someone here does reach out to you on Christmas. I feel that whatever situation we're dealing with here, it's a divine feminine who is dealing with this. For some reason, I heard attached to timelines, like attached to one outcome, attached to one path, one possibility. And I feel this kind of having a past energy. So I feel there's a divine feminine here who was attached to things in her life, or even with this specific person we were talking about happening or working out in a very specific way. Again, this was a way for her to control, in a sense, that I don't even think this divine feminine realized that what she was doing here by really attaching herself to this one path, to this one timeline, that this was actually holding her down, that this was actually her controlling herself or controlling, I heard how she naturally feels about the situation. It's like her trying to say, no, I'm not hurt. I'm not in pain. I don't feel regret. I'm just going to somehow skip to the end here, and not just the end, but what she perceives to be the only end, the only outcome here. And so I feel like this divine feminine was guided because, again, this is a past energy. I feel like into the present, she's actually being guided to release this one path, this one outcome. I heard her say, like, it's my way or the highway. And I don't necessarily feel like she was specifically saying that, but it's like in her soul, I'm getting like a very type of perfectionist energy. Like, I planned all of this, it had to happen this way, and now I feel like I'm mourning those old timelines, that attachment to that timeline that I finally had to release, or that I'm in the process of releasing now. I feel like something about this situation, this could be a job. This may not necessarily be a relationship. This could be something with this divine feminine's career. But something about her life or relationships is making her feel as though she is starting over, starting back at square one, in some sense. And that's terrifying for her. But I feel she unconsciously is receiving signs and messages about this. There's a powerful completion of a cycle here. I really want to channel some messages about what's really going on here on a higher level, why this is happening, because this has been a very intense kind of reading. And I know that for those of you who have been listening so far who are resonating with a lot of these messages, most likely there is a lot of feeling of pain. I feel as though something in your life, this could even be the connection we were just talking about, was extracted from you. Almost like, I hear the word surgically, like as a metaphor. It feels as though there was something within you that had to be removed, but the removal process was really painful. But this is happening energetically. It's like, regardless of what kind of connection this was, whether this was, I feel as though the way in which this connection became in the physical meant that physically this person or situation somehow had to be removed from you in order to allow you to rise to your highest good and to your highest potential. However, again, I feel that through that so-called extraction process, this has been very painful. I hear it's asking you to, for someone, it's asking them to fully, completely love themselves, to fully be alone with themselves for the first time. And I heard this person saying, I've kind of been resisting that loneliness, resisting being alone right now, even though I know it's what I've been guided to do. So I feel this reading will really resonate with someone who feels as though on a higher self level they're being guided to be alone, and they may not really know why, or their ego might be fighting it, or they might be telling themselves, I don't want to be alone. Like, why am I alone right now? And I mean alone regardless of their relationship status. So you could be dating someone, you could be in a relationship, you could have friends that you are connected with. What I mean by alone is like at a deep soul level. I'm doing this, whatever this is, life, building this career, building this building, building this relationship, whatever they're doing. I feel like this person feels as though they are doing this on their own because somehow they feel as though they are misunderstood by people around them, or they haven't yet found their people in some sense. I'm seeing a divine feminine. This won't be for everyone, but for someone, it's like romantically, there's this energy of them taking back their heart. But I also heard taking back their energy from some kind of masculine energy in their life. This could be a boss, this could be a father figure. However, I really feel as though for many, this is some kind of a romantic connection. And I feel this divine feminine somehow returning her energy to herself, taking back her power. I feel like there was a divine feminine who poured a lot of herself into some kind of person or connection for a long time. But again, this was like a way for her to control. Like, if I can pour enough time, energy, emotion into you or into this connection, then I can control it. And Spirit is really guiding this divine feminine to return home to herself, meaning to take back her power, to take back her energy. I'm really feeling a lot of wounded feminine energy here. It's very necessary for us as divine feminines to heal our divine feminine energy and to actually balance that inner masculine and inner feminine energy. This is a huge part of what allows us then to call in attraction and sustain a true connection. I spoke earlier on why this had to happen, why this divine feminine is feeling, I heard, almost against her will, but not really. It's like against her ego's will. She is releasing her attachments to this one path, to this one timeline, in order to rise to higher ones. And I feel that in her physical reality, this could look to her as though she's leaving someone or something behind that she really cares about, that she's held on to for a long time. I do feel that all of this is an illusion. If this person is a true soul connection, especially a true twin flame connection, and this divine feminine continues to choose boldly and bravely her own growth, her own healing, they will reunite perfectly, naturally in the physical. But right now, the specific divine feminine is being called to release her control of how and when that happens by betraying herself in order to somehow change this person or change this connection in the physical. I almost feel like this whole cycle, which could span years, specifically again for someone, this could literally be 7 years. 7 is a very powerful number. However, I feel as though it may not be that number of years. There's just some period of time that is in this divine feminine's physical lifeline, almost like a contractual obligation, like a soul contract that's being fully fulfilled, a contract both with herself and potentially even with this other person who may be involved. There is some kind of new beginning here for this person in love or in life or even in spirituality, with exploring more about their spiritual self, truly stepping into their spiritual power, with the time to give rather than take. I was really seeing a time to balance giving and taking. There's something here about this person who I again feel is a divine feminine, where there was some imbalance in her life or relationship when it came to giving and taking. And this is being brought into balance. I feel as though her divine masculine, if these messages have been resonating specifically with you, the masculine in this situation could be being called to rebalance this equation by giving more rather than taking from the divine feminine. There's just some kind of imbalance here between giving and taking that is being rebalanced, that became very out of balance for this divine feminine. I feel like this could look like feeling as though she was giving a lot to something that wasn't giving back to her. I heard she's learning to effortlessly receive. This idea of shifting her focus back to herself, this idea of re-empowering herself, fully embodying the fully awakened, healed, empowered divine feminine by learning to effortlessly receive rather than trying to force things into place or like force what comes to her with meditation and contemplation. I just feel this could be speaking once again to this pervasive feeling of loneliness and isolation that this divine feminine could be feeling at this time. Though I feel that that is the answer. You are being alone, being placed in a situation, again, regardless of your social status, your social connections, your relationship status, you're being placed in a time in the physical where you are feeling very alone because you are supposed to be alone, meaning alone with yourself, meaning having the time and space and energy to go within yourself, to cultivate your spiritual gifts, to become fully healed, fully empowered, before then expanding out once again and forging new connections with people around you. I feel like I'm connecting with a divine feminine who has had an awareness, and by awareness I mean like a soul knowing of her purpose here on earth, whatever that might be for her. This will connect differently with so many of you because we come here with different purposes and intentions, and only we can really truly sense into our own soul's blueprint of what we decided we wanted to come here to be or do. For some of you, this may be something inherently spiritual, like what we think of as spiritual, such as doing tarot readings or speaking on spiritual things. However, for many of you, these will be things that we don't think of as inherently spiritual. They are simply what you would call passions. But that feeling of passion, feeling pulled to something, whether it be music, writing, running a business, a particular career, whatever it is that you are strongly passionate about, is actually a hint as to your soul's blueprint. This is you being guided in a direction that you chose to go prior to incarnating here in this lifetime. So I feel that part of why this divine feminine is being guided to be alone is to not become simply just aware of this purpose, because this divine feminine is already aware of her purpose. It is to solidify it to herself, meaning to become more confident in whatever this purpose is, to grow herself in this direction, to expand herself in this direction, to face down those last remnants of fear, of lack of self-confidence in herself and in this purpose that could have been holding her back in the past. When we rely only on our own will, we're micromanaging the universe and resisting the natural flow of life. We're not trusting the mysterious breath of life. We're rejecting the great cosmic intelligence instead of relying on our own personal strength. When we do this, we find ourselves attempting to bend things to our will. We spend time forcing, pushing, and living from a space of trying to. Everyone around us can feel it, and the universe can too. You're being called to stop micromanaging the universe and trust that the breath of life, to surrender to the greater will that God has for you, to move from my will to thy will. When you surrender to the greater will of life, you will begin dancing with the rest of life. When you bow to the great mystery and say, please use me, please show me your way, little by little you find yourself living your most fulfilling, authentic life. When you surrender your potential will, when you relinquish control and release the way you think things should be and surrender, to the greater will, you find yourself being led. You begin breathing the breath of life. I truly hope this message finds whoever it is intended for. If this message has resonated with you, please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. If this message has not resonated with you, but you would like me to channel for you in the future, please also like and subscribe. Again, these are forms of energy transfers, and they help me to pick up on your energy. Thank you so much again for visiting Inner Light Guidance. Until next time, guys.